All of a sudden, wham. Strike on my back sent me underwater. Boy, she trying to drown me? Good lord. I started to drown, but managed to force myself to jump out and grab the nearby door. She actually traced him all the way when he was, I don't know, apparently getting undressed going into the water. She did, didn't she? My goodness. What was all that back there? All that from a bet. Is she embarrassed that she lost? I'm not even sure what to think here. It's kind of funny though. He got something hiding, something. This face he's making though. I don't know, man. It's kind of funny though. I turned and saw Alisa swimming after me. What the hell are you doing? What am I doing? Harrying the winner. Like that? Okay. Seemed like you were doing some chasing and he just happened to be out here. I don't know, it's like he's trying to do it. All I could think of if that was me in the situation, I'm like, oh fuck, why did I get undressed? But back there, obviously I'm a little excited because he won some card game against her. He probably is thinking of like, damn, at least I don't have to worry about her, saying some stuff now. It's like, I don't know. In some ways, yeah, that card game is like, you do kind of feel like a champ when you do win it, actually, because yeah. But it's tedious because she's the hardest one in there to beat, and it's like, the game kind of sometimes rigs it for you where, no matter what you pick on the card, it seems to kind of go her way. So sometimes you have to pick which one the arrow's not pointing at sometimes, because the game kind of doesn't recognize it, and then it's like, that's how I managed to get through that, so, I don't know. What if I start drowning? Well, I'd save you. Of course. It was just too dangerous to stay here. She could easily sink me. I gathered all my strength and swam to the shore. I slowly started to catch my breath. Beach sand stuck to my body from head to toe. After some time, Alisa came out of the water. You swim well. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, you too. Well, wasn't that obvious? I said nothing. You won twice against me today. That means I will forget 2 of your debts. Forget 2. What kind of debts is she talking about? Good point. Well, maybe it's the part when you first bumped into her when I apparently when she said, get your jaw off the floor. I'm guessing you probably stared where maybe I didn't realize at the time, I don't know. And that's what she's thinking of. I don't know. It looks like Alisa has a problem with evaluating reality. Thanks a lot. Although, I don't really know what the second one that she's referring to. I think that's just her just messing with you. But who knows with this girl, man? I don't know. I said sarcastically. You're not as much of a loser as I thought. Damn, nice view. I gotta say, it's like, I don't know. They show this girl's character's butt quite a bit, compared to some of the other characters in the game. I don't know. It's like, Slavia, it's like, you didn't even see her. It's like, only on occasion, but not really. Like, that was, but this girl, throughout different points of that, recall, on the beach, for example, especially the one part, man, it's like they give you a full view of her. It's like, Jesus. It's like, okay, she's got a little bit of an attitude, but you can't deny that ass. I don't know. Alisa was wearing a swimsuit that perfectly emphasized the beauty of her figure. Well, taking into account all the flaws of her personality, at least this advantage of hers couldn't be taken away. Since when did I become a loser? She smiled cunningly. What's wrong? Aren't you won? Of course not. And how will you prove it? I don't have to prove anything. Oh, so is that it? She said without any anger. Yeah, that's it. The silence was expected. A light wind gently played with the waves, sending them to the shore and taking them back after. Alisa was still looking through me, as if it seemed she completely forgot about my presence. Hey, Earth to Alisa. Her lost look immediately switched back to her normal one. Anyway, bye-bye. She picked up her clothes lying nearby and left. What a scene that was. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, though. I kind of seemed to kind of fit her. I think what you find out, though, is she does have a little bit of a playful side to her, a little bit. So that's kind of refreshing to see. So my hunch was a little bit right about her. It's like she tends to put on a front a little bit, like to make you think she's all, one way, but there's a little bit more to her. And I did not mean to skip that damn line, but it didn't really matter. I always say, people, they do, you think about it too, or even in real life, some people, it's like, you might think somebody might have an attitude, but I'll always say there's probably a little bit more to them than meets the eye. It's like, maybe they only act a certain way because they might have things with them. They might not want people to get too close. So maybe they do certain things to kind of keep people at a distance, right? We all have like different things about us, right? Where we don't want people to only get so close. It's like a wall, like, we all have them, right? Every once in a while, we lower that guard when we don't realize we're actually doing it. But it's usually only when we start getting close to another person, usually. But it depends on, who, though. After all, I didn't have that many opportunities for that before. Or I simply tried to avoid every opportunity. Well, if we think about it, the light from faraway stars reaches us only after millions of years. If there was one thing that I did wish that Slavia's route had, which is another reason why I started hers first, was because I mentioned how it's pretty straightforward. Well, it was pretty good and it's alright. I do feel like at times, though, I would have liked to have seen Slavia, like, go through some periods of different changes. I wanted to see, like, you did see some glimpses of another side of her personality, but for the most part, she rarely ever changed from what she was presented as. Like, it's like, okay, here she is, it's like, you get to know her a little bit, but you don't really get different quirks about her or what makes this girl tick. It's like, okay, there's got to be more to her. Here with Alisa, you're starting to see different sides to her, so I don't know, it's kind of interesting on that. Right now, I can see the star because it was shining back then, long in the past. And now this star is gone, already exploded. Wait a minute. You took my clothes too? Oh boy. Did she really? I got up and looked around the beach. No doubt about it, Alisa took my pioneer uniform. Is he standing out there naked? Oh boy. Damn it. She did, didn't she? And I was just starting to think that maybe she's not so spoiled. I wouldn't really use the word spoiled for her. I just think she's just a tease. I don't know. Girl's kind of nuts though. And I need to come up with an idea quickly. She stole his clothes. Certainly I could go in and complain to Olga, but not in my wet underpants. Yeah, I don't think that would go over too well for her. Consider what we know of her either. I didn't know which cabin Alisa lives in either. That wouldn't be a smart idea either. She probably might throw something at you. I don't know. And knocking on every door is certainly not a good idea. Boy, you certainly have bad luck right now, don't you? Maybe I should go to Slavia. Naked? Unless if you got something on, I don't know. But since you're not really trying to pursue her, I don't know how that would go. Yes, of course. All night wearing my underpants. The only thing missing is a rose in my teeth. Overall, it looks like I'm screwed. In any case, I have to do something. I was lucky not so much time had passed since she left, so I could still catch up with Alisa. Hurry up. In a blink of an eye, I found myself at the square. Oh boy. To my great surprise, Alisa was sitting on a bench, apparently bored. She was actually waiting for him. That's my guess. Maybe she kind of figured, okay, if I snatch something of his, will he actually show up there? Is that what she was expecting? But what if he didn't know? What if, like, I don't know, he went elsewhere? Smart girl, I gotta say, though. She had already changed. Give them back. You should. Take them. Yeah, sure. I mean, she muttered with a guilty tone and handed back my uniform. Wow, this is an expression we don't see that often, now is it? It's interesting. Now you're blushing. What's with that? I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's what I mean. It's like, I'm kind of digging this girl a little bit. I would say I mentioned, how I like all the girls pretty evenly, but there is something to do with personality, though. It's something to be said for a person's personality a little bit. And while, I mentioned how I did like Slavia, but I did I did mention in the review, it's parts of it kind of wish for a little bit more for her personality, just a little bit, you know what I mean? Other than that, I really didn't have a problem with her. Here, it's like, okay, Alyssa's showing more than, it's like what she let on when you initially meet this girl. I don't know. And this is technically only day two, well, portions of it anyway. Don't think I was waiting for you on purpose or anything like that. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's classic tsundere line, isn't it? I wasn't here waiting. You were waiting. That's why you're blushing. It's alright. Alyssa turned her back and set up towards the cabins at easy pace. I was left standing, riveted to the spot. I didn't expect such a twist. The guilt did its job, perhaps. Fat chance. Anyway, it's better to keep away from her. Recent events do not change a thing. I headed to Olga Dimitriova's cabin. For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. There was no light in the window, so Olga must have been sleeping already. Strangely enough, she waited for me yesterday. I entered the cabin, quietly stripped and laid on the bed. When you think about it, my situation hadn't gotten any clearer today. In fact, I spent the whole day doing useless stuff. I would have even thought about doing something like this in the real world. I mentioned this the last time, or I don't know, it was a part, maybe it was in Slavia's. I was like, okay, when you're back in the real world, you didn't really have too many people around you from what I saw with this guy, so maybe there could be something to that, but we all do kind of goofy things sometimes when we do get around people, so I wouldn't really say it's that big a deal there, Semyon. I don't know. I guess it just depends on, us as the individual, I don't know. Although I had plenty of time, how much time I would have here in total is still a mystery. Maybe an eternity, or maybe there are only 2 minutes left. I just didn't want to think about the past, about how I got to this camp. It'll all come in due time, but for the first time in a long while, I find really tired. Not only emotionally tired, but also physically tired, psychologically tired, and God knows how else. I just wanted everyone and everything to shut off, starting with my own thoughts. I wanted this mess somehow resolved by itself, or at least without my active participation. And what if I'm stuck here forever? Then I'll have to get used to it. So just like that, I'm not ready. My consciousness slowly drifted away from me, and it became progressively harder to concentrate on something distinct. Perhaps it's better to wait until tomorrow. I rolled over and fell asleep. And that's what I mean. Day 3 already. Much faster than going through the first part. But it's coming along either way. It doesn't mean that it's going to be any shorter, because I still got to make choices. And there's going to be parts where that wasn't seen that we're going to be seeing. So it's going to be interesting. The night left a feeling of anxiety behind. I woke up exhausted both physically and mentally. Oh, I know that feeling, man. Mornings, since you're my latest sub, mornings is not for me, man. I don't do well with mornings. It's like, I have gotten up. Not at the crack of dawn, though. It's like, don't ask. It's like, I don't know. I just can't do them. It's like, I'm definitely more of a night person, but I don't know.
But the times when I have gotten up, it's like usually about 10 or 11 o'clock. It just depends. I don't know. Even but during that time, it's like, man, it's like, and then the day just feels so draining. It's like, especially if you're having one of those days where you're not just feeling like up to par, I don't know. It happens to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dream, as if you fell into Hollywood blockbuster. Good lord. With a plot full of twists, well paid actors, and multi-million-dollar visual effects, and then you wake up in the morning without remembering a thing. I haven't heard the name Blockbuster in years. Good lord. Used to rent there all the time. That's kind of funny. That's what I was trying to do, to restore the images shown by my relaxed brain. But that part of my memory was empty, either achieved or formatted completely. I think the last time, yeah. By the time you get to the 360 and PS3 generation, I don't recall too much of Blockbuster being left by that point. I mean, it's kind of like a little bit there, like in the beginning part of it. But by the time you get towards like 2010, it was long gone by that point, I would say. But during the PlayStation 2 generation, yeah, I rented some games quite often from there. I remember. Back then, GameStop was known as EB Games, if I recall. I think that's what they used to be called. Yeah, something like that. It's 7 a.m. according to the clock. I seem to be an early bird today. Olga was still sleeping, wrapping tightly in her blanket. Wrapping so tightly in a hot summer. Yeah, go figure with her. I got up, stretched, and went to the mirror to have a look at myself. I better shave. Strange idea, before twice a month was enough, but now nothing depends on the way I look. I haven't found a razor anyway. Why do I even need it if I look like I'm 17 at most? Because you're 17 doesn't mean you can't start growing a little bit of a stash on your face, or maybe have some type of hair. I don't know. I did. Well, depends, I guess. So, breakfast can't start earlier than 9 a.m., and this means I have plenty of time, which I can spend on walking and washing, for example. The water didn't seem as ice cold as the previous day. On the contrary, its refreshing coolness helped me to brace up and come back to reality, whether all these events could be called real. The tooth powder didn't seem to be such an outdated thing. A quick thought struck me that it's not that different from toothpaste. Okay. When I returned to the cabin, Olga was already up. She was standing in front of the mirror and fixing her hair. Good morning, Sanyan. Morning. Because of a lack of sleep, my head was still singing, and my thoughts were all jumbled together. However, I didn't regret waking up instead of my usual habit of sleeping in for 2 or 3 more hours. How come you got up so early? It just happened. And no neckerchief again, let me. Yeah, this part I'm just gonna skip a little bit of that, because her just fixing his thing up. Sure, I'll try, but just in case it all goes down. Oh, fine. On our list for today is cleaning the camp location, organizing the books in the library, some other minor tasks, and of course, we have a bow in the evening. Watch yourself. You must take part in the camp activities today. You bet. Definitely. I know, I'd rather. Come on, let's hit the road. I came out of the cabin and hid in the bushes behind, waiting for Olga to meet you out to leave. Actually, I didn't have any particular reason to behave this way, but the voice within me kept telling me that I have nothing to do with the lineup. What voice? Is this all in your own head, or some other voice you're trying to listen to? After the camp leader left, I went back to the cabin and decided to wait for breakfast there. I'm gonna guess it's just himself. While I'm not planning on taking part in community life today, something tells me you giving me a choice, you're going to. That's what I said the last time. It's like, well, you're giving me a choice. You're someone I'm controlling right now. You're going to. Although, I don't really blame him, though. I'm not really much of a clean person like that either. But in this case, it depends on, what you're asking, though. I won't not do certain things. It just depends. Just don't beg me constantly if you're somebody,
kind of thing, you know. Don't ask me to clean and scrub toilets. That's where you'll lose me at. It's like, as soon as you ask something like that, I'm good. I don't care. The commode doesn't even look that bad. It's like, I'm not cleaning shit on that. I don't know. So let me do some forwarding here because this part's pretty irrelevant to what we got going on. Seems I overdid it a bit with the thinking. There is no usual crowd of hungry pioneers near the canteen. Okay. Or even inside the canteen. Most of them probably had their breakfast before 9 a.m. That's even better. Two's company, three's a crowd. Lena was sitting in the farthest corner of the canteen, lazily picking with her fork at an amorphous lump that vaguely resembled porridge. Having a breakfast with her seemed like a good idea. We can have a chat in peace. Or at least try to have one. I was on the way to her table when suddenly someone grabbed me by the sleeve. Xenia, the librarian. Get your meal and come. We need to talk. What are you waiting for? I was a bit confused. Pardon? Isn't this a bit too sudden? What's wrong? Get your meal, sit down. I suppose that she considers her behavior completely normal. Let me see. Let me make a quick save here because I'm not exactly sure about this choice or how it even affects Alisa. I don't think it has any relevance of hers because there's nothing for her there about this choice. It is more or less for Xenia. But what I was doing Slavia, let me see. How did I go about this? I did not do anything. I did go to Lena. Because it was like, I just kind of stayed there and you got a scene with her. But nothing really ever came of it. They don't actually take you to the library, which is kind of funny on that. So nothing ever plays out with that part. They mentioned something in passing about, hey, I wanted you to do something. Okay. It's like, fine, wait a minute. They pretty much off-screen whatever was going to happen there. I don't know. It's kind of weird on that. As far as Lena, because, let me see. Sorry, I promised Lena, have dinner with Lena. To be honest, I don't recall him actually promising her anything, but maybe I missed that somewhere. Help Lena. Okay, no, I don't remember that choice. You know what? I'm just gonna go with this choice again because it doesn't seem to have any relevance to Alisa, so I'm just gonna ignore the other one. I'm not sure why, but I accepted the invitation. What if I could learn something new? She is such a bookworm. Okay. A minute later, I was sitting in front of Xenia with a tray and a simple meal on it. Porridge, 2 eggs, 4 pieces of white bread, a sausage, and a glass of comfort. Boy, you like to eat, don't you? Bon appetit. Isn't that French? Thanks. I decided to act as politely as I could, and also eat more neatly, without chomping and spilling crumbs of food or drops of compote. So, what do you want to talk about? Today, the library. I wasn't listening from this point onwards. I immediately recalled Olga's words about the scheduled events for today. Don't forget. Oh, what? I said, don't forget to visit the library after lunch. What for? Were you even listening? That's what I'm talking about. Why couldn't they have at least showed some type of scene with this? Like, you're getting the dialogue, right? And just with this character, nothing comes of what she's saying right here. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, it's like, okay, if you're going to save this for, like, one of the main character routes, you know, Eula or something like that, what's the point of having that? Like, it's like, you know what? Okay, this has no relevance even to her route. From what I've read, anyway. I was like, okay, if it doesn't even have anything to do with Miku and, Eula's routes, what's the point of, like, I don't know, throwing that in there? And it's like, then it doesn't really
go anywhere. I don't know. Kind of weird on that. I admit it honestly. Zenya's face turned red, then appeared green. Then took on a soft purple color. Today, after lunch, you in the library. Got it, dunce. Look at that. My goodness. Why couldn't you be kind of a main heroine? I mean, some people, well, you might think, like, it'd be too many girls to do. I have nothing else going on, as long as I have time and I'm up here, it's like maybe I may not get to it every single day, but you guys see what I post certain videos. I do them like every other day, or it's like, I don't know, it depends, Like yesterday, since I was kind of off, I wasn't really doing anything, so I had some time on my hands. So it's like, I don't know. I only do like a part-time job anyway, so it's not like, I really needed anything like that. So, I don't know. But yeah, so that's how I look at it.
So, but let me do some forwarding because this has nothing to do with her. And as I mentioned, this conversation goes nowhere, as I mentioned. So, but Zenya, that's what I mean. They see something. I have nothing to do in that place. Because pretty much, he stops himself from pretty much going there. And that's pretty much what that was. So, yeah. And he mentioned about the nurse. There's her. I saw this one the last time, so we want to do some skipping on this. But there is a choice that's going to be coming up here that more or less has to do with Lena, but also affects Alisa to a degree. So,
I do not speak Russian, so I cannot read this at all. They did not translate that, so I have no idea what this choice even means or what this says. Let me double check here. Olga asked me to help her tonight. Okay. I'm guessing since I wrote down the other main walkthrough that obviously has this game translated. The version I have, there's part of the game that's not translated all the way. And apparently, this must be what this says. Because the top one says, okay, I'll come. So I'm going to go with this bottom one here. Maybe I shouldn't have lied to her. I have no idea. I should think before I say something. Oh, really? What exactly are you going to be helping her with? I was turning out bad, but I decided to stand my ground. Her cabin. She asked me to clean it up, sort out the things and so on. Bet you know what a mess the cabin is. Sure, she asked you to tidy up her closet too. The nurse looked at me so intently that Napoleon's... Yeah, I'm just gonna go past this, because, like I said, I'm just wasting too much time here, but it's an interesting scene either way. Okay, now the choice that I need to go to is... This is where I need to go. Don't worry, it's all coming to either way. It's not like it's not gonna get there, but yeah. I just don't want to keep you guys too long, So we're gonna go take a look, because the last time when he, who cares, go looking for answers, he never really came away with anything anyway. He just kept wandering around thinking in his own head if he could solve the problem, and he doesn't solve it anyway, so. Okay. Coming to the stage area, I caught sight of Alisa on the stage. Huh. The girl was giving it all with her eyes closed. She placed one of her legs upon the speaker and was swaying her body with the rhythm of the music. If this text wasn't in the way and this skirt was any shorter, I think you'd see right up that. Just saying, Couldn't recognize the melody, but I was pretty sure that I'd heard it before. Probably something from Soviet rock. Wow, they did mention that she's kind of like punky. I don't know. I could have named a dozen bands in this genre right off the bat, but I was hardly an expert. Okay. The song seemed really simple, literally just a 3-chord progression. Probably even I could have played it, given some time to practice. But the idea of playing punk isn't exactly about chords, or playing a lot of, as far as I know. I do know a little bit about music. Trying to speed play through it is the trick, though. That's the main key. It's like, that's the whole point of it, why they do it that way. Yeah, it's like, okay, anybody can play these kind of chords, but can you play them fast, right? I don't know. Keep trying. Some people could do that. It's like, I can't really go that fast. My fingers just get tired. And I was never good at using a pick anyway. I don't know. I wonder where Alisa got her playing skills. In the USSR, such music had never been nationally acclaimed. The future rock star wasn't taking any notice of me. It was like she was trying to become one with the music, to resound in every note, in every bar, in every triplet. Rock heroes of the 80s instantly came to my mind. Many of them were devoted to the music in a similar way. If she got dressed in something more suitable for that period's fashion instead of her pioneer uniform, no one would notice the difference. Her performance was coming to an end. Picking out all the last couple of chords, Alisa finally noticed me. Did you like it? She doesn't seem as surprised as I would have expected. Yeah, that was cool. As if you could do any better. I would be modest, You're probably, you look like you probably want to be in a band. Me, I just kind of play just for fun. But you wouldn't want me to be in a band because I already know I'm not really that great. So it's like, I know how to play a little bit. Not really all that, to it though. Just, don't ask me to play some really difficult, songs. I can never really get the hang of it though. I just, once in a while when I'm just kind of bored, I just pick it up. But other than that, I don't really do anything with it. And the amp that I have is kind of crap anyway. It's like very little noise even comes out of it. It's like a real small, tiny amp. Yeah. Spineless or shiny. I'm not saying that I could do it better. I'm not a pro in music. No doubt. Yep. I didn't know what to tell her next and was headed on my way. Wait a minute. There you are blushing. What? Heard about the evening dance party. I thought it was a ball. Ball, dance party, what's the difference? She frowned. Yes, I did, and so what? Are you gonna go? After throwing those words, she turned away. I'm not sure. And you? What am I gonna do there? Watch a herd of morons? That's kind of funny, though. I don't know. That comment. Obviously you're going there for something like that. I don't know. He'd be the only one there since you're naming morons, so you're talking about the rest of them back there. I don't know. That word, though. There was some truth in Alisa's words, but this open disrespect surprised me. It's clear that it's not the idea of a ball that she hates. But why? Use your head there, my guy. Come on now. What do you mean by why? Well, why don't you want to come? Dance parties ought to be fun. Do you really think so? Annoyance flashed in her voice. I don't know. Well, I thought that you would. Never liked them. She interrupted me. There's absolutely nothing to do at such parties. But yeah, you want him to go, don't you? I see. So what's your plan then? I asked just to keep the conversation going. I'll just carry on practicing. What are you practicing? That song, dumbass. You even heard it. My goodness. You did with the creepy eye. Look at that. It's like, you're just trying to scare me, but it's not working. It's like, I got used to it now. It's like going through the route, with Slavian, and then the many times that I've seen the eye. Now it doesn't really have much of an effect. It's more like, okay, you're trying to get him to notice you. It's like, is that what this is? Like, notice me senpai kind of thing. It's like, I noticed it the first time. You don't have to do it now. There's no more. You always say, once something doesn't really have an effect, is when you become numb to them at that point. I don't know. Unless it had gone totally bad. A few more raw questions that I would have to run for my life. Maybe. Who wrote that song? I did. So, you wrote it by yourself? By myself. Cool. Sorry about that. I had a little phone interruption. Oh well. Back to the plot. An awkward silence hung in the air. Just tell her yes, Semyon, because that's pretty much what she wants. She wants you there, man. Okay then. They want to listen. Didn't I just hear it? That's not what I meant. She pouted. The whole song. It's just a jump now. Aw, come on. Do it then. Not right now. Well, don't do it then. I felt uncertain about what she wanted from me. Now you're being a little bit of a blockhead. Come on now, use your brain, Semyon. You mean you don't want me to play? Seems like I frustrated her. I got ready for her to smash the guitar on my forehead or something even worse. But there was only an upset expression on Alisa's face. I told you. Come here tonight then. I'll play it for you. For me? How cute. Tonight is the dance party. You said that you wouldn't go. I didn't say that. Frankly speaking, I didn't want to go, but messing around with the Betcha was no good either. Olga won't like it. Screw her. Look at that. Now I know why she shot this glare. It's more like, okay. The other one's like, I know what she's coming from. It's like, okay, like, I get it. It's like, he's being a little bit of a blockhead. And maybe that's why she had to show. It's like, you had to mention her. It's like, I could tell she don't like her one bit. It's kind of funny, though. Said Alisa, getting steamed up. And what are we going to do? Is he going to go to this thing or what? Obviously, I kind of already know what is going to happen with that. Because we're supposed to accept her offer. So that'll be for next time. So till then, I will meet you next time.